Everyone, I know it's a very exciting day. Good morning. There we go. Welcome to the Universalist Unitarian Church of Farmington Hills, where we celebrate all things, including our animals. But I would also like to begin with acknowledging the war in the Middle East, and that today may be very challenging for folks. So I want you to know that we will be including a prayer later on in the service, and that our hearts are with our siblings and community around the world. And so I struggled with whether or not to continue with an animal blessing service, but I felt like it was right to still bless our animals and acknowledge their role in our lives, and that they bring us joy and comfort even in hard times. So we are going to begin our service with singing number 38, Morning Has Broken, in your gray hymnal. Feel free to stand. Our chalice words this morning are from the Reverend Florence Caplow. She writes, "We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hoofed, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May we remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and respect."
We bid you welcome. We do not ask what you believe or expect you to think a certain way, but only that you try to live a kindly, helpful life with the dignity proper to a human being. Welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. Welcome all who might find in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Universalist Unitarian Church of Farmington. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us, whether enjoying the service in person here or watching online. My name is Mark Petrie, and I've been a member at UUCF since 2016, and I am a member of the fundraising committee. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors today. After the service, we invite you to stay for coffee and conversation downstairs in our reception hall. Religious education classes will be held after today's message for all ages. Children, tweens, and teens are encouraged to join us for some or all of the service. Joys and sorrows will be shared later in the service. You can come to the microphone here, up at the front, or text your name and your joy or concern to the phone number listed on page 2 of the order of service. Please take a moment now to silence your phones, but we do encourage you to go ahead and share on social media that you are attending today's service. And if you could please join me in the shared affirmation of mission, which is printed in your order of service. We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all of us are welcome as blessings. Let's recite our mission together, which can be found on the second page. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. All right, we'll go ahead and welcome our RE coordinator, Corey Cortez, as she leads us in our message for all ages. Our children's processional today will be number 414, As We Leave This Friendly Place. So you might want to get that ready right now. After the message for all ages, please sing along as our kids go to their classrooms.
I found it. All right, good morning. So happy to see all of you here and our furry friends as well. So excited. I have a little story for you today. If the children or if anyone wants to come closer to hear or see, you can do that. You can come up here if you'd like. Maybe you want to sit right here because there's some pictures to see. Want to sit over here so you can see the pictures right here? See? There you go. All right. Once there was, and once there was not, a family of dogs. Like many dog families, there were dogs that had wandered off the street, and dogs with fine pedigree, and dogs from the shelter, and dogs who had been born into the family. They ran together. They played together. They tumbled together in great furry masses of tails and snouts and paws. They loved each other very much, even if sometimes they growled at one another, even if sometimes they worried about the biscuits from the tin on the counter, even if some didn't feel good and snapped at another dog. They still loved each other very much. Each night, as the moon rose, the family of dogs went outside and sat in a great circle on the soft grass and watched the moon rise. They'd look into each other's eyes and wagged their tails. I see some tails wagging back there, yes. It was a doggy thing to do. Then, when the moon was a dog's tail above the horizon, the eldest dog would howl loudly at the moon. And what do you think that dog was howling about? Any ideas? What do you think? Do you have any ideas? What do you think that dog was howling about? The eldest dog was telling other dogs and the moon and the whole world what he was thankful for. Thank you for this day, for the running and the jumping. Thank you for the biscuits and the treats. Thank you for the little brown dog for nosing the ball my way. Thank you for being able to sing. Thanks for this and everything. Then the youngest dog would point her nose to the moon and begin to howl. And she was saying, "Thank you, wonderful sun, for warming my back. Thank you, fragrant roses, so sweet. Thank you, pack of dogs, for wiggly dances. Thanks for the ringing ice cream truck. Thanks for this and all my luck." Then one dog, one after another, would join the howling, saying their thanks, until they were singing together to the moon, but they saved the best for last and howled together. Thank you, parents and guardians. Thank you, siblings and cousins. Thank you, neighbor, and thank you, friend. Thank you, stranger, and thank you, world. We share our thanks for every being, whether near or far. No matter how, no matter who, no matter what you are, thanks. They did this no matter what the weather, no matter how many or how few of the family was there, no matter how they felt. The dog family gathered together each and every night to greet the moon and share their thanks. Let's share their circle of gratitude. We are gonna repeat after me. Thank you, parents and guardians.
Thank you, parents and guardians.
Thank you, siblings and cousins.
Thank you, siblings and cousins.
Thank you, neighbor. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, neighbor. Thank you, friend.
Thank you, stranger. Thank you, world.
Thank you, stranger. Thank you, world.
We share our thanks for everything, every being, whether near or far.
We share our thanks for every being, whether near or far.
No matter who, no matter where, no matter what you are, thanks.
No matter who, no matter where, no matter what you are, thanks.
And thank you all. Oh.
Cat.
Yes, there is a cat. There's lots of animals up there, right? I know not everybody's animal could be here today. Our animal cannot be here today. But they are with us in spirit. So animals that are here and animals that are at home and all the animals outside, we thank them and we are so happy to be able to be blessing them
If our
today.
animal was here, the only living things that will be
All
here
right. Okay.
is us and the dog.
Thank you all so much. We will have all the RE children. If there are visitors here today, we would love our children to join us in class today. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. And we'll move on to announcements right now. We just have a brief announcement about chalice circles are starting up again. The first session is this Tuesday, October 17th at 7 p.m. at UUCF with a virtual option. All are welcome to attend, including members, visitors, and guests. This week's discussion topic is ourselves and our stories. And we ask that you bring an object that's meaningful to you. If you would like a ride or have questions, please contact Barb Eglinton. And please check the UUCF website or emails for other announcements about upcoming events. Oh, we have an announcement there from our friend about upcoming events. And I believe we probably have some more from some folks here.
Morning, Marie Laurie with Social Justice and Save the World. Just a quick reminder that we are meeting tonight in Adams Hall, Save the World with Red Wine and Blue, finding out about ways that we can work to work in the elections coming up now and then throughout the next year. On us to save democracy again. So please join us. It's always a good time. 7 o'clock tonight at Adams Hall. Thank you. 7 o'clock tonight in Adams Hall.
Hello, Katie Coker here with the RE Committee. Obviously, we have a lot of really fun kids that are participating in our program. We would love to have additional teachers sign up to help teach them. You can see Corey, myself, or another member of the RE committee to sign up. We also will have our table downstairs for Treats on the Trail. That will be October 29th after service. If you would like to have a booth set up, a trail set up, or just help us by bringing candy, please come see me downstairs at the table to sign up. Thanks.
How's it going?
You're on.
You want me to go? Oh,
Pretty soon.
you go
pretty
first.
soon.
You go first.
Okay. Karen, my name's Karen, and I'm with the fundraising committee. And I just want to remind you that we're getting really down to the wire. It's 1 week left for donations to get in. All you have to do is go online through the e-blast and click through it. Everything's self-explanatory. So get those items in. We really have some nice items this year and nice donations, so I hope everyone comes. Now, I have a little message from Linda. She wants to remind you to bring your physical auction items to church before the night of the auction. They don't have to be brought now, but anytime from now till the auction night. And there's a place in the Marge Brown room that has some black screens. Behind there, you can put your item, okay? If you have any gift cards that you've been able to get, please make sure that I get them so we can get them logged into the silent auction. Now, without further delay, I would like to introduce Mark Petrie, who is going to sing a tune that he has written to get you in the auction mood.
We are the very model of a modern major auction. No, we've information on the auction coming up. It's critical. So many great donations now, it's really quite historical. From supper time to butterflies in order categorical. We're very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. It won't cost much for you to win, and then you'll be more sociable. About the fun and food, you know we're teaming with a lot of news. And oh, we have to mention, yes, we might be drinking lots of booze. We're very good at integral and differential calculus. It helps to get donations from the businesses for all of us. In short, we hope you all will come. The good times will be plentiful. We are the very model of a modern major auction. No. All right. I don't believe I got through that. All right. Please rise as you are willing and able for our hymn from the gray hymnal 203, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky.
Hallelujah.
perfect heart is one that has known love and loss, joy and sorrow. The perfect heart is one that has been shared. As joys and sorrows of our community are shared, please direct your energy, prayers, and meditations as a gift of compassion and strength. If you'd like to come up to the microphone to share, please do so.
And I know our furry friends are going to continue to make noise, and that's okay. That might be mine in the back. No, not this time. Okay. Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries. Connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. This morning, I share words inspired by and adapted from Rabbi Sheila Weinberg, Reverend Dr. Jackie Lewis, Dr. Saleh Kolaki, and the UUA President, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. So at the variety of religions, because we are also a pluralistic faith, I bring this to you. To love one another may sound simple, but in moments of violence, it is a practice of deep faith and deeper conviction. May we remember the interdependence of our paths and our lives as we call our collective attention to this violent moment. May we acknowledge this moment is not isolated from history or context. Two peoples, one land, three faiths, one root, one earth, one mother, one sky, one beginning, one future, one destiny, many broken hearts. One God, one love, one humanity. We set our attention on those who have died, those who have lost loved ones, and those who are in danger in this moment. Grant us a vision of unity. May we see the many in the one and the one in the many. Guide us gently and firmly toward each other, toward peace. Violence is not conditional. You cannot kill people and kidnap children, then point to circumstances to say this isn't truly violent. Freedom is not conditional. You cannot wall people in, prohibit their departure, subject them to random attacks, then say that they are free. May we advocate for paths to less violence and greater freedom. May we not allow grief and anger to erase another's humanity. For Islam teaches peace. For Judaism teaches repair. For Christianity teaches love. Our own Unitarian Universalism teaches justice. All religions, tradition calls us towards these themes and to nonviolence when not warped into tools of war. We are one global family living tenuously on the same human-impacted earth. Let us center ourselves in both love and justice as we call for peace. To love one another may sound simple, but in moments of violence, it is a practice of deep faith and deeper conviction. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we continue to be connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. Let's take one more breath in together. As we send love, hope, and wishes for peace to the Middle East, to our siblings around the world. We now light 3 candles for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, and for the joys, one for sorrows and one for the strength of this gathered community, both here and not present here at this moment, that can support you and bring you peace.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. And as we move on to the offering today, we have words from Kristen Collins. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. On to our reading today, which is actually a call and response. I will read a section, and then the congregation can respond with the phrase, the sentence that is printed in your order of service. Is it on the?
No, it's in there. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, okay. Ours is a world alive and allowed with the presence of creatures and critters. Animals abound, interwoven in our human lives and wholly independent. This is the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth. Some of us have known animals who have saved our very lives. Sometimes this is a metaphor, sometimes it is literal fact. For so many of us, we are better human animals because we have known animals as part of our story.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
Animals are not only cuddly and cute, companions of solace and delight. Animals are deeply wild with the capacity to defend and to kill even the ones that we have pronounced tamed. Let us always show forms of proper respect for this wild way.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
There is the painful reality that some animals suffer needlessly at our hands. There are animals who encounter human cruelty, left hungry or maltreated, used for mean-spirited profit, habitat stolen and built upon without regard for our shared mutual existence. Let us do what we can to be able to give thanks for animals without hypocrisy or heartless dominance.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
There are animals in our daily lives whose labor makes our own lives easier, safer, more accessible. Animals who lend us their fur or hair or feathers or fleece or milk or eggs that we might be sustained without their loss of life. Animals whom we raise or hunt, may it always be compassionately and with respect for the wider web, though we know this is mostly not the case, whose lives are sacrificed that some of us eat or cover our bodies. May we move ever closer to that ideal to live lightly on the earth, taking only what we must and no more.
We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth.
We bless all animals. We bless those we know and love. We bless you. We bless those unknown to us who have benefited our lives. We bless even the ones that can harm us, affirming with humility their place in the interdependent web. We affirm the impulse for humans to live in right relation with all other animals on this earth. May we honor our best presence as part of the animal family.
Thank you all for your flexibility as we have our animal friends here today. Animal blessings have a long history, tracing back to Saint Francis of Assisi in the standard story, but extending even further in Judaism and many other religions acknowledge and bless their animals. With our Unitarian Universalist principles, the animal blessing is a way to draw attention to our principle that there is an interdependent web of life, our seventh principle. And I believe that it is part of all of what we do, of acknowledging how we touch every aspect of the whole world. We and our pets and our animals also share this whole world, just like when our reading, sometimes we forget, we compartmentalize our thoughts and the ways that we live without always taking into account how what we do impacts on non-humans. But hopefully, with every once in a while an animal blessing or something like this, we remember and we come back into connection with animals and creatures beyond us. Our Unitarian Universalist ancestors, I've learned recently, also have some more history with this. So Henry Berg, who is a Unitarian, he was the founder of the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. So we have ways that we live our values through creating, through animal advocacy. I was also reading about Henry David Thoreau, who advocated for reduced meat eating, and animal rights activists Ralph Waldo Emerson and Louisa May Alcott, among many, many others. There is also a movement now, if our principles stayed the same. I know that we've had many conversations about how they may or may not change, but our first principle that honors the inherent dignity and worth right now, it says of all people. There is a group within the Unitarian Universalist world that is considering advocating to change it to all sentient beings. So just to know that that is one of our conversations of thinking, how do we impact the larger world? How do our animals impact us? It is right that we give religious attention as for many of us, animals are a major part of our lives. I don't know about you, but I kind of build my life around my dog. She is in the back corner with my wife, Michelle. So Michelle probably has her under control right now, so she's not howling. She is a... Sorry, I love this dog so much. She's in the foxhound family, and we adopted her 9 years ago when we were living in Guilford County, North Carolina. And the animal shelter there thought she was 1.5 years because they just, they assessed the teeth and so on. She had been wandering the streets of Guilford County. And so a friend of ours was and still is a volunteer at that shelter. And she posted some pictures, and I was like, that is my dog. And so we went to visit Letty in the shelter, and we brought our other dog at the time, George, who was a Pyrenees mix, 116-pound dog. We brought him to see, will these two creatures get along? And so thankfully they did, and mostly George ignored her, and that was really what we wanted. They don't have to be like best pals, but they shouldn't fight either. So Letty is the first animal I've adopted as an adult. And then with Michelle, because she is a vet tech, then by the time we moved to New York, we had 7 animals. And so most of them had to be rehomed because they were in containers. And so we had a bearded dragon who was in a 40-gallon tank. And, so when you're in a 1-bedroom, tiny New York apartment, you have to save space, and we had to rehome a few creatures. But our pets, I believe that they are one of our best spiritual teachers because they teach us to be present here in the moment. They teach us to be silly and maybe not take ourselves so seriously. They help us to remember to rest when we need to rest. Have you ever noticed that if a dog or a cat or other creature needs to rest, they just do wherever they are. They will stop. They'll even stop in the middle of a walk. Okay, I'm done. So sometimes, even if it's irritating to us, they remind us that they need to take care of yourselves, too, in that moment. I think that they're also, one of Letty's great skills is reminding us about how we create stories about our animals, who we think they should be or who we want them to be, but they are who they are. And it is our job to adjust to who they are. We create stories about this species is a certain way or this breed is a certain way. And they may share a lot of the same characteristics, but they're still their own personalities. And so I see that as a spiritual teaching in that I have to adjust. I'm the one who has to change. I am not going to make Letty not be a hunter at heart. And that was a challenge when we moved to New York because we would take her to the dog park at a local park next to us, and it was great fun. She loved this huge space to run in, but because she is a prey-seeking dog, then when she sees little bitty dogs, then she wants to corral them underneath the park benches. And so as soon as she would corral them or start howling, we had to leave because we're not going to change that, right? So that you can't breed out or you can't train out the hunting instinct that she has. So our job is not to be mad. I'm not going to be mad that we couldn't stay. This is how she is. And so I remember once in talking with my mentor about this teaching, and he says, remember that when you're serving congregations. They are not going to be exactly how you think that perhaps they should be, but you can adjust. And so I always think of that in terms of how our animals are really great spiritual teachers, so are congregations, so are each of us in our relationships with each other. And I was also thinking on how when we thought of a spirit with great disasters, Hurricane Katrina, for example, people would not leave their animals behind. When there were fires, people would not leave their animals. People experiencing homelessness will bring their animals. I can't tell you how many animals I saw living on the streets of both New York and Chicago with their people, because their animals are a great source of comfort, and they are not going to give them up. One big challenge, of course, is people experiencing domestic violence have a hard time leaving their pets behind. And so I'm really glad that our world has become much more accepting, much more allowing for, like, the Humane Society now has created plans around rescuing pets when there are natural disasters, because knowing that people, I mean, seriously, if my house is on fire and I couldn't get Letty out, I can't even imagine. Like, I love that dog so much, and all of you know from your own pets, like, would I leave my pet behind? I don't think most of us would. If we absolutely had to, we would take them with us and whatever it took. And I know that, thankfully, our larger culture is less of, there used to be a thing where we would look down on people who had a close attachment to their animals. I used to be one of those people, believe it or not, because it was like, oh, no, I don't, that's for other people. But now that I've become one of you, I understand. We do not leave our pets behind. They are a part of us. They impact our daily lives, our emotional lives. We need them, and they as much, I think, as they need us. I just want you to think on, especially for those of you who have lost a pet, I just want to acknowledge that for this moment. Many of us have had to make tough decisions about putting an animal to sleep, that we know that it was in their best interest, that we have had to let go of an animal who is suffering, an animal who has had cancer, for example. There are many different reasons, and we, the humans, have had to be in a position to make a decision to end their suffering. And that is one of the hardest things we can do for our animal friends. So I just want to take that moment and acknowledge the changes that we have gone through and the sadness and loss that for many of us, we can still feel that many years later. And so we would like to begin our animal blessing and what is going to happen. Because I know that this is a little disconcerting probably to many folks. But so what is going to happen is of having folks just bring up their animals. Diana is going to play some music. And I just want to acknowledge that if you need some blessing, the nature of many pets is that they will share their blessings also with you. So I think they'll be glad to have that you brought them here, even if they don't fully understand what is happening. Like life for many is better when it's shared with all other living things. Let the blessing of the animals be better by sharing that good with all. So now Diana is going to play, and if you want to bring your animals up to the front one by one, and yes, even pictures. If you have a picture of your pet on your phone, then that is fine too. Thank you. Oh, and Mark, you want to? For all of those, sorry. I know that many of you were unable to bring your pets, or if you had pictures. Let's just repeat after me just a few words to whoever, maybe I know in my life, Michelle and I, we've adopted the birds in our backyard. Maybe there are other animals in your life that you would like to send a blessing to. You just say, I greet you. May you come from the same life force of creation that I do. And I greet you as a friend. May your days be filled with love. May your tummy always be full. And may you always have a place to rest. May you have many days of love with your human friends. I am happy to have met you. May your life be blessed. And now let us rise and sing number 175, We Celebrate the Web of Life. Recognition of our animal friends. After the closing words, Diana is going to reprise our most recent song, and we will just exit the sanctuary or having our traveling music because they have shown a lot of patience here today, don't you think? All right. Friends, we are one and we are loved. May our connections to our pets, to the animals around the world, remind us of our interdependence. May they be blessed with a long and happy life. May we be blessed with their spirit of love and joy in all things. May it be so. Amen.